Hi, everyone, and welcome to a special episode of Version 1, a podcast where interesting people come to talk about their creative processes, imposter syndrome, inspiration, failures along the way, and much more. I'm your host, Waverly, and this episode is part of our Aruba Limited series. I've partnered with the Boardwalk Hotel to bring you conversations with local artists who are shaping the island's creative landscape. Follow the show on Instagram at Version 1 Podcast, and you can support the show at buymeacoffee.com/Waverly Colville. You can listen to this episode wherever you get your podcasts or head over to YouTube to watch the video version. All right, I am here with Suelyn Dankerlui. Suelyn, thank you so much for coming on the show. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm doing good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Could you just introduce yourself and a bit about the work that you do?
So my name is Suelyn Dankerlui. I'm an artist. I paint. Most of the time I make abstract paintings, and now I am making paintings for the Boardwalk, and I'm making twin paintings. So one is a painting, I'm doing live paintings on the beach, and one is from the sunrise, or the beach in the morning when the blues start to come. And the other one, the sister painting, is a painting of the sunset, which is always magical on the island.
Oh, that's so cool. That's awesome. I can't wait to dive more into that. Are you originally from Aruba, or did you move here?
Yes, I was born and raised in Aruba, and I studied in Holland for, I think, in total 6 years, more or less, 6 or 7 years. And then I came back. Yes, it's home. It's home to me.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome. When you were a child growing up in Aruba, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Oh, tons of things. I wanted to be a surgeon because I was very, very much into biology, walking around in the forest, not forest, in the cacti forest, looking at the lizards and the animals and the insects. I always enjoyed it a lot. So I was pretty much into biology. But then my interest grew into more the physical part of the human beings, and I wanted to become a surgeon. But that didn't last that long because I'm a very practical person, and I dive deep into my imagination.
Uh-huh.
And yes, I became an artist in the end.
Yeah. When did you start developing your interest in art?
It's a very interesting question, I find. I was never into art, according to myself then. But later, when I was studying in Holland, my sister was studying art, and I was studying biology. I wanted to become, a biology teacher. And one day it was raining, the sky was gray, and I was so down and depressed. I wanted to go back home, and I didn't know what to do. So I asked my sister, can I borrow your canvas and paint? And then I started. And I never stopped since then.
Wow.
However, I have to say, when I look back into my childhood, as I told you, I used to play a lot outside, and I used to make shapes out of the clouds. And I went a lot into the role playing, and I was doing a lot of creative stuff, but more in a playful way. So not painting or, crafting, but more in my imagination, my head.
Yeah. So it sounds like sort of the thread or the interest was always there, but it just took you a while for it to come out.
Up into that back. Yes,
Yeah.
It was unconscious. Let me put it that way. Yeah.
Totally. And then when you were in college, using art as an outlet, it sounds like, to deal with bad moods or the rainy weather and stuff like that. When did you decide, hey, I'm pretty good at this. I could do this professionally. I should switch career paths from biology, because that's a pretty big leap.
It is a pretty big leap. Yes. And I also realized at some point, okay, standing in front of a class with a lot of teenagers was not really my thing. I love them, but the turning point was when I got my first child. That's 10 years ago, actually, that I quit my job. I stayed home with my baby. And at some point I really felt like, oh my gosh, I need to do something for myself again. And again, as an expressing and dealing with emotions. And that's when my husband told me, okay, why don't you start painting again? You're home, you take your time off and you do that. And then I started, and that's when I switched from using colors and shapes and stuff like that and turning it more into an emotional outlet. and being very expressive and more into abstracts. And I think that was when I also realized it's either I go back to work or my husband pushed me. He was like, okay, a lot of friends are asking for paintings. You paint for everyone. Why don't you start posting? And I was like, but I'm going to feel naked. No. But as soon as I did, it went really, really, really well until the day of today. So.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes.
As you were starting to do abstract paintings, how did you develop your style?
As I said before, I used to experiment a lot with colors, with textures, with coffee ground and pastes and sand, and so I think my skills were already in practice, or I was practicing, and it's autodidactica, you say, self-taught. I was just experimenting, and with in the new phase of painting abstracts, I think I was looking a lot for like peaceful, calm moments for myself. And that's when I started exploring more with big brushes and big paintings, big strokes. And it felt very liberating, And I think everything that I practiced before came into place at that moment.
Oh, cool. So it sounds very intuitive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very intuitive.
That's awesome. What are your favorite colors to experiment with?
I love the blues. So the green turquoise, the deep teal, just sky blue. And I love the earthy colors. So give me the green, the browns, the sienna burnt, I love the earthy colors a lot. So those definitely are my colors. White. I use a lot of white.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
I want to go back to the Boardwalk Hotel project. Could you tell me a bit more about how this project came about?
They approached me because they had a few artists before. Armando, we all know Armando. He's amazing. And then he told them, yeah, I think Sue is a match with you guys, because I'm very into, the Boardwalk Hotel. If you see it, it's an amazing oasis it's just, you relax. Either you want it or not, you come to total peace. And I think that they could relate to my paintings, because it gives kind of the same feeling of just tranquility. And so they approached me, and then we had some ideas rolling, and then they told me, yes, what about sunsets? And I was like, okay, first of all, I'm a lot in my grotto, I'm in my world. I paint on my own in my house, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take the challenge. I never do live paintings. And then they told me about the sunset idea. I was like, okay, like realistic paintings is not really what I do. But if I can choose one thing to do slightly realistic, is a sunset, because the clouds keep on changing, the colors keep on changing. So still it's a little intuitive, and you choose the best feel out of every second, and then you try to put it onto one canvas. So I love it.
Yeah, it's kind of, even though it is a realistic painting, there are some elements of abstractness in the sky.
It's still a lot of, there are a lot of feelings in it, and things that you cannot paint, but you have to feel. So the clouds moving, and that's something that I think comes also in all my other paintings in different forms and shapes.
Yeah. Does your creative approach change when you were painting on the beach in front of people instead of painting in your house alone?
Yes, it does change. It did change. Because people come and they talk to me, and I love that. So I get all excited about the reactions of people, and then I focus less. So I don't dive deep in the painting, but still I can't make a whole painting on the beach. So I take it home, and then I finalize it and, focus more. But I think definitely the excitement around the painting on the beach, I take it with me in the painting too. It's beautiful, the reaction of the people, and once again the colors. It's beautiful with your foot in the sand.
Yeah.
Love it.
Absolutely. Did you find it more of a challenge to paint something realistic when you're so used to doing things abstract?
It's strange to say, but to me, I can say it's less of a challenge, but it's you paint kind of what you see. And abstract is very difficult because you don't have something to, you don't have
It's all
something
from your
solid.
own mind.
Yes, and sometimes it feels off, and then you keep playing until it feels balanced. And there's no rule for that. It's just it has to feel right. And sometimes you have to keep searching and adding. And sometimes you just put one white dot on the left side, and then you're like, yes, it's complete. But it's the beach, so it's the beach,
Oh, so in a way, it sounds like it was a little bit easier for you.
In a way, composition-wise, yes, because it's there for you. You just play with the colors, with the feel, I try to always like when you're standing there, you feel the wind, you feel the breeze, you hear the sound, and that's something not tangible. And I try to put it in a painting.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Where will these paintings end up?
It's a nice project, actually. So they're twin paintings. So one, they're gonna keep, they still don't know which one. And the other one, they will auction. And, they will gift it also to a good cause or back in the art community of Aruba. We still haven't decided yet. So I'm doing my homework, and I think they're doing the homework too, where it's needed. We're gonna gift it.
Oh, that's wonderful that
it's amazing.
You're contributing to the art community and giving back. That's really cool.
Yeah, I think so too.
Maybe the painting will be in one of the lovely casitas or somewhere in the hotel one day.
Yes, I think one is going to be in one of the casitas. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, that's fantastic. I can't wait to see the paintings when they're done. Going back to some of your abstract work, I was wondering, could you describe your work to somebody who's never seen it before?
I can try. It's difficult. Okay, so I'm just gonna explain like a scenery, and then maybe you can try to see it. You tell me. You're gonna be the judge. So here in Aruba, you have the Palm Beach or the strip where the water is calm, and you have the broad white beaches, and you also have the North Shore. There's where, well, almost nobody goes there, only the mountain bikers or the hikers, and some people that surf, they go there, but the water is very rough, and so you can really swim, but it's beautiful, and it's a little hilly. So my favorite place to go is there, sometimes mostly with sunrise. So you see the hills, the hazy air, it's like a golden light that comes up. And you can really feel the wind, and you can smell the fresh air, the salty air. And it's a landscape. So it's a landscape, and the down part is maybe a little dark and brown. And then you see the blue sky, but you have it's not a fog, but a hazy in between. And the composition is so beautiful. And when you close your eyes there and you take a deep breath, that's what I want to paint. And I hope that that's what most of people can see.
Yeah, I think that's a really good description, because your abstract paintings, they have a very calming presence to them. It feels like a deep inhale and a deep exhale.
Yes.
That's what I thought when I was looking at your website and your Instagram before this interview. Very cool. Yeah, very calming and serene. So I can see why you have those experiences and want to infuse them into your paintings.
Yes. So those are my favorite type of paintings to make. And I also have the ones, when life is chaotic, you have the routine and you have the to-do list and things get chaotic. And then I just grab some chalk and then I paint on the canvas. And then also most of the time I use a lot of whites to calm it down and breathe. So it always has to do with, like pausing and enjoying the beauty of everything.
What are some of your other sources of inspiration other than the North Shore of Aruba?
Yes, other than the North Shore, sometimes in the morning I have my coffee in the morning in my garden and I see the leaves and, it always inspires me too. And also, I think that's it's a combination mostly of a landscape and also a lot with what I feel within, like a lot of feelings. As I said, it's an outlet. Sometimes it's a deep breath that I have to pause and then I try to imagine how it looks like or how I want it to look like. Sometimes it's a conversation. Sometimes I paint something very calming, almost empty. But then I look at it and then I'm like, yeah, that's what I crave now, so it's a mix of those two, I think.
For sure. When it comes to the planning process before you actually put brush to canvas, do you ever sketch out your ideas, or do you just kind of go for it and see what happens? Like, what is it?
It's funny because I get this question a lot though, and it's difficult to answer. But most of the process is happens when I'm sitting down or laying on the bed, and just thinking. And sometimes I have an idea, but it's very difficult to sketch because it's abstract. So in my head, it goes like, okay, I want these colors, and then I try to place them, layer them. Like, okay, I start with that, and then I do that, and then I put the texture here, and sometimes I lose it. But I have the whole picture, but then I have to like grasp it and hold on to it. And I always say my husband has a lot of patience. Sometimes I get it. The time when you're between sleeping and waking up?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, yes, I see it. Okay, take care of the kids, take care of everything. I'm going to grab my brushes. And then I go. And sometimes you sketch it, but then because I do a lot of layers, you lose it. And if I'm in the flow, I have to keep being there. Because if I have to stop to do something else, most of the times I come back and then I'm like, where was I?
Yeah. So it sounds like you kind of see it in your head intuitively almost.
Yes. And a lot of times you lose it. You kind of lose it. But then I think that's also the addictive part. I have to keep on searching and not giving up. Keep on painting, keep on searching. And sometimes the image that you have vaguely in your head, it just disappears because out of a sudden you see it. And then I know like, okay, it's fine.
That's awesome. That's really cool that it's so like intuition based and so feeling based for you.
Yes.
That's really cool. Do you ever have times though when you're in a rut or you have a block and you don't feel inspired?
Yes, for sure.
What do you do?
I think all artists do,
Mm-hmm.
mostly. That's sometimes I have commissions, or most of my works are commission based. I get a lot of freedom from my clients, and I'm incredibly grateful to that. But sometimes you feel like, okay, I done 3 paintings and then I have a deadline and I have to, and that pressure gives me a block. And then, I think it becomes structure and it becomes work, and then it becomes like I have to, and it doesn't go with the creative flow. So then most of the time what I do is go for a hike, go for a walk, go have a wine with friends and talk and, put some music on. Sometimes I put a canvas there and then I keep staring the whole morning at a blank canvas with the music, and then I try to find it back. But sometimes it takes a little bit. Sometimes it takes months, sometimes it takes weeks, sometimes a few days, and then, until so far I get back into it.
That's awesome. That's great that you use like hiking and getting out into the natural world as a way to sort of break up your block,
yes,
so to speak.
Yes, I learned the hard way. Sometimes you try to force it and then it doesn't feel right. It doesn't look right. And then, you get frustrated. So that doesn't work with me. Yeah. I have to take a break or, give it time and a little space.
Yeah. And the mind-body connection is so important too. I feel like that's why people are always like, oh, I have my best ideas when I'm taking a shower or when I'm, I don't know, like, yeah, hiking or taking a walk or when you step away from whatever it is. Yeah. And your body's moving and it helps you.
Yes.
Flow.
Yes. Sometimes once I was at a techno party and I was with my eyes closed and dancing and I was like, whoa, you see things in the most random times and place. And once again, it could be a leaf and you see the sun falling on it and I go like, wow, this is beautiful. I should take this part and make it big and add those colors and it could be something.
Yeah. Do you think being a painter has made you more sensitive to light and color around you?
For sure, 100%. I've always, as I said, as a child, I used to see the shapes in clouds and the shadows, but this makes you constantly be aware of little beautiful things. And sometimes it's also like a little boardwalk that you see the lines and you see perspective and compositions. I see that a lot. Sometimes I look at a little rock and I pick it up and then I see how the colors overlap, and it's an inspiration. So you learn to, I think, enjoy and admire little things that usually you would just walk past by them.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you think that these skills that you have, because of the fact that you're a painter, have given you a unique or a deeper perspective on the island?
Yes. My appreciation for the island has always been big, but it became way bigger, and I try not. I do my best. I don't want to ever take it for granted, because as I said, I studied in Holland. Holland is a beautiful place. There's a lot to see, a lot to do, but the beauty that you have in nature here, like each sunset, each cloud that passes by, how the leaves move in the wind, the scenery, the calm of the island is something incredibly special. And it definitely helps me a lot in my creative process, but also just as a person,
Yeah.
I even have a tattoo, Live the Island Way. It's just
I love that.
the feel of it that, no, it's a beautiful island.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it here. It's how could you not? It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Your work ranges a lot in size. So you have paintings that are the size of a piece of paper, and you have paintings that are the size of an entire wall.
Yes.
How does your approach change when you're working with such different sizes?
I have to say my favorite size to work on is are big sizes. So I love working on big canvases, because once again you get this space to be expressive on, and on smaller ones I feel very restricted. So what I once in a while do is, especially end of the year, there's a lot of people, they don't have the budget or the space, especially to have a big painting. And then once a year, usually I make little paintings. I tell myself, do it for the people that really want a little piece, and I just do it for them. And when you see them grabbing a little piece and they go like, oh, I've been waiting for this, it just makes me so happy. But I definitely prefer making bigger pieces.
Because you have more room to explore on the canvas?
Exactly. You have more time to, fade the colors in and mix. And once again, the body movement, it's incredible. I wasn't even aware of it, but it's really, it's like you're playing, and you can't play on a tiny playground. It's like, I need that to work on, to feel free, not restricted.
That's really cool. How long does some of your bigger paintings take you?
Oh, it can take from 2 days up to 2 months.
Wow, that's a really big range.
It's a huge range. Yes. Sometimes, as I said, sometimes I see something and I'm like, yeah, I love it, but I'm missing something, and then I put it away. And sometimes I work on something else, or I get back to it. And I always tell my clients also, I have a range of time, but if I'm not happy with it, bear with me. I'm not going to give you a half job. Like, give me my time until it's finished. That's how I work. And you can't force that. It has to really feel right. And sometimes it goes like in one shot, and sometimes it takes longer.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Your paintings have really unique names like Clouds of Gratitude, Retrograde, Breathe Again, Anchored in Motion, Endless Drift. I was wondering, could you talk to me about what some of the paintings' names mean and how you come up with these names?
I think most of the paintings, as I said, it's a lot about how I feel, feelings. And I came to, it's so beautiful, because these things, it's my therapy. And when I look back, I realized it's, a lot of them have to do with life changes. So maybe getting a child, or a change of my husband, change of job. So the whole dynamic changed, or somebody got sick, or I got an amazing opportunity to do something beautiful, and it's most of the time the in-betweens, you have point A to B, and things change, but nobody stands still there, right there in the middle. And to process, like, okay, what's going on? What's happening? What's the internal shift? How do you feel about it? And usually, changes comes with a lot of, usually when you grow, it always comes with the uncomfortable parts and the part that you feel, like questioning everything. And sometimes you don't know where you're heading, but you can feel that something is changing. And I love to like play pause in the middle, instead of getting overwhelmed, really like, reflecting on, okay, without change, without this weird feeling, you will never change and grow. And so you have the endless drift and retrograde. That was a little cynical. Like the plan is retrograde, and then everything feels like But they're all dynamics of life, I think.
Yeah. Do you ever come up with a name before you paint, or is it always you have this finished painting and then you come up with the name?
It's usually after the painting, because the painting is like a journey, and sometimes I start with something and I don't even realize what I'm doing. As I said, it's like therapy. And afterwards, when it's finished, I'm like, yes, this was ta-da-da, like I give it a name and I know exactly what it is, and I can give it closure also. It's like, okay, it's processed. I'm happy with it. Fine. And then I give it a name that is really like on point.
Does the sunrise and the sunset paintings have a name yet?
They don't have a name yet.
Ah.
I've been thinking about it though. But I think the sunset, I kind of have an idea. I'm going to give it a little way. But October, November on the island, they're my favorite months to watch the sunset, because you have clouds. I think a lot of tourists go like, no, it's cloudy. And I go like, yes, we're going to have a show in the sky with the sunset. The little clouds they catch all the colors, and they reflect them in the most beautiful way, and it keeps changing. So I think I'm gonna give it, maybe I'm gonna name it something like, I don't know, something including November skies or something like that.
Cool.
And the one during the day, I still don't know, but I'm thinking about it.
Well, we're excited to find out. Yeah, for sure. You said that a lot of your paintings are commission based, right? Could you talk to me a bit about some of the things that you've been commissioned to paint?
Yes. Most of them are, paintings for homes. I've noticed that there is kind of a pattern, hardworking people, really hardworking people that want to give themselves something nice, like a little bit of a good feeling in their homes. And then I visit them, and I always say we talk about size, composition, colors. And I always like to get the feel of their home and from them as a person. And then usually they tell me like, I like this one, this one, this one. So make it something like that. But then I always try to make it a little, like give it like a special surprise to them, something that suits them, but still not taking away what I want and like to paint. And I think that's what I love about commissions too.
It sounds like a very collaborative process.
Yes.
Yeah, like it seems like their taste sort of influences, of course, like the work that you end up doing for them.
Yes, a little bit, but so far I have to say most of them are people that really they just like, I love everything you do, and this name, this title, it spoke to me, So it's also a lot. They choose me because they trust my style and what I do, and that's beautiful. And I've also had people that ask me like, can you make me a portrait or this flower? And then I go like, yeah, I know an artist who suits you better for that,
Yeah, that's not your style. You're more abstract.
Yes, but that doesn't happen a lot.
Where can one go to see your paintings on the island?
That's a little difficult because I don't have a gallery. I paint at home, but they can always visit me at home or contact me on Instagram. Instagram is still my, the platform that I use. You can see all the paintings there. And some people contact me like, hey, we want to see what you have. Unfortunately, I only have 2 hands, so I don't have a stock of paintings or a gallery. But if I have some and people contact me, then I always welcome people to come and go through my atelier and have a look.
That's awesome. What would you say is your favorite part of your creative process?
Oh, darling, it's the getting lost. You go into a world and then you try to figure out what you feel, what you like, and I just go into the zone. It's like, yeah, I don't know how to explain. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. You can't really explain it. And then you execute it. And when you see it, the final product, it's like the circle is whole. It's a whole world that like a journey. And then you came to the finish line and you're so happy. And it's so, it gives you a big satisfaction every time you finish something and you feel like, okay, it has been processed and everything is in place now.
Yeah, you love the flow state.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really
Love the flow
cool.
state.
Yeah. Do you ever like lose track of time?
Yeah.
You're just painting for hours.
Or sometimes I'm done, like, yes, I think I'm done for today. And then I see the clock and I've been working for 8 hours nonstop. And then I realize like, oh, my back. But then I'm so happy. So, and then I take a couple of days break usually to like, but it's the flow, definitely. Oh, yes.
I love that. What is the most challenging part for you?
The most challenging part, I think, it's not a 9 to 5 job. So you have to be inspired. You have to have a plan. And also the time when the creativity hits. Sometimes I have other appointments or I have to bring the kids somewhere or cook or I have to pick them up. And then you get distracted. And that's the most difficult part, I think. And I can't really schedule it and tell my husband, okay, Wednesday to Friday is mine, because maybe I won't be inspired on Wednesday or Friday. And it's hard. But luckily, he also has a lot of freedom in the schedule. So we have a very, not a regular scheduled life, but it works. We make it work.
For sure. When somebody looks at one of your pieces of art, what do you hope that they think or that they feel?
I hope they get a good feeling, a calm feeling. And if I see somebody standing in front of my canvas and they just stand for a few seconds and just do nothing, just stare, then I'm like, okay, they're going somewhere. Oh, love it.
That's beautiful. I love that. When you need a creative reset, where do you go on the island?
In the water.
In the water?
I go for a swim. That helps me a lot. It's like, I don't know, there's something magical about getting that slightly cold, not cold, it's never cold, but you know what I mean? Like that fresh water, mute all the noises, and then just go for a little swim. It restarts my everything, actually. So we do that with the whole family, busy seasons, or in my own, on my own. I go, sometimes I drop off the kids at school and then I just go at the Malmak and then I dive and then I come back and I feel like, yeah.
Refreshed. That's wonderful. Do you snorkel or scuba dive? Or
I do both. I do both.
Really? I love scuba diving.
I love scuba diving too. I have to say, I don't do it as much as I would love to, because you have to take the gear, you need a buddy to go with you, and you don't go for 20 minutes. You go for a little longer, but it's like you go into another world. So also it's delightful. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Do you view these activities as part of your creative process?
I've always done these activities, but now I feel like yes, I need it, and I started seeing a routine also. Like I need all of these elements to keep me on a more consistent flow and level.
Mm-hmm.
That way. Yes, no, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the magical thing about scuba diving is, like you said, it's like being on another planet where literally the laws of gravity don't work the same way. And you're just immersed in this whole other world that you're basically an alien to. And you can't listen to music. You can't be on your phone. You have to be very present. You have to monitor your own breathing. So it forces you to be super hyper aware of your surroundings.
Be in a moment without distraction. Like that's the distraction. That's the only thing you're doing. Yes, I think it's very good for the mind. Yes, it's like that quiet moment.
Yeah.
In general, all the things that I've been seeing now, I think we all need it. All people who work, who has a life, you need to step out of the routine to come back as yourself again.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you ever experience thoughts of self-doubt or imposter syndrome?
Yes, of course. I think we all do. As I said, for example, in the beginning when my husband told me start posting, like, what are people gonna say? And they're gonna judge me. I have to say it became less and less and less because I start falling more and more and more in love with the process. And then it's not really important anymore what people think, but it has to feel right. And I really, really try to stick to that. I do it. It's like my purpose. I have to do it to be a better mom. Of course, it comes with the income, but I really think if you love it, if you do it with confidence, if you do it with a purpose, people are gonna love it because they're gonna feel it too. So yes, sometimes you doubt yourself, or as I said, when I'm working on a painting and I can't seem to find a balance, I get frustrated, like, and then I put it away. But now I can pull myself back out of that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And that came with time.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any advice for people who maybe are stuck in a career path or just stuck in life in general and they want to have, a creative outlet, but maybe they're scared to start or they are feeling like doubtful? I think that, you as someone who made such a big career change and was able to do that so successfully and have this creative career when you originally weren't going on that path could be very inspirational for somebody to hear. So do you have any advice for people?
Yes, of course. Look, I didn't have anything to lose because I quit my job and I stayed home. And then I fell into this emptiness. And then I had two choices: or I go back to work, or I start doing this like more seriously. So I didn't have to quit a job to start painting. That makes a difference. But I think painting, it's even if you're painting, if you make music, if you write poems, it doesn't matter what you do and how good you are, you will never be perfect. It just has to feel good and you just have to do it. You don't have to share it with anyone as long as you're creating. I really think it's so important also to process everything that is happening to you. Maybe you start with more, with techniques and super conscious, but at some point, if you keep on doing it, you're going to see that your soul is going to find its way into your work. And before you know, it will make you more relaxed. It gives you time for yourself. And, if you think I don't think it's talent. We all have it in us as children. The first things that we do are dancing, singing, drawing. It's just we unlearn that because of routine and patterns and studies and this and that. So get back into your inner child. Stop criticizing yourself. Just create. Don't worry to get judged. If you feel like, okay, I'm afraid to get judged, don't let anybody see it. Do it for yourself. That's what I say. That's my biggest advice. Do it for yourself.
I love that. That's so powerful. Thank you so much for sharing. Could you talk to me a bit about what the creative community is like in Aruba?
The creative community we have, it's growing. I love it. You have the older generation, and back then it wasn't that normal that you could get an income from art. But nowadays, you can really live from it. And some people still are in disbelief. So sometimes I feel like the older generation, not all of them, but some don't really get the newest generation. It's like, you can make YouTube videos and live from that. Older people that worked, 40 hours in an office every day, they would be like, huh? They don't understand. But other than that, I think we have a beautiful community. As I said, I have a lot of friends or people. It's nice to be able to talk about these things and the process with other people. And we always get excited to find more of us so we can talk about it. And also what I find nice, now I have some friends that are artists, all different type of artists, but I feel like we need each other, especially to talk about the business side of being an artist. That doesn't come naturally with us. It's not in my system. So we need a support from each other to talk about pricing and marketing and how do you do this and how do you do that. And it feels so nice. And I think the generation of now that we have of artists, I think they're very supportive and we are very close in that sense. And we support each other a lot.
That's wonderful. Yes. It's fantastic that you guys seem really like a tight-knit, like supportive group. That's amazing. If somebody is visiting Aruba and they wanted to get involved and do something creative on the island, what advice would you give them?
I know there are there are some spots. There is Artitude in Oranjestad. It's like a little cafe where they have some workshops. It's very cute. You have souvenirs, everything handmade in Aruba. It's a very nice place if you want to go there and take a look and maybe, join a workshop. You have Artisa in San Nicolas. That is the art gallery. You have the murals, so you can ask for a tour. I don't know if you've done it, but I highly recommend. They have beautiful murals, beautiful history of Aruba there on the walls. So if you take a tour guide, you would hear more about the culture and how we are as an island. And I think it's one of the most beautiful artistic tours that you can take. And there's also another gallery that opened in Oranjestad in the main street. And that's also a very cute one with local artists. And they also have some activities. So I have the feeling that they're becoming more and more. But definitely the art gallery in San Nicolas and the Artitude in Oranjestad is also cute.
Oh, that's fantastic. We'll have to check those places out.
Yes.
How has your work changed throughout the years?
I think from more experimenting, more into the intuitive, emotional, expressive side. Mm-hmm. Yes. And also, I think, of course, with a year, you want to become better and better and better. So now I'm talking also about quality. Before I just, grab the cheap canvas and just used whatever on it. And now I'm very picky about what quality it is. I want it to be in an oak frame. The paint and the varnish has to be a specific type of varnish. Is it on the wall? Then we need the UV protection. So the little details, I became way better in it, throughout the years. But work-wise, I think it's more the intuitive, emotional side now.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Are there any emotions or things that you would like to explore in your paintings that you haven't yet?
Yes, definitely. I'm all about the happy, the good feeling, but sometimes we go through darker times too. And now that you're making me talk about this, I realize that is something that I'm a little afraid of, because I have the beautiful side of life. I have the middle part, but I want to explore the darker part to make it like a complete circle, just life in general. But then I'm afraid that it's going to be so dark and weird that they're going to be stacked in my living room because nobody wants them. But it took me a while, but now I just started with those two. And it feels so good because, it's just like talking about bad things. We have to talk about bad things too. So why don't I just paint about the negative side too? And then if I don't sell them, it's fine. I'll keep them. Those are also, it's also part of life. And if people like them, amazing. But that's definitely a part that I want to explore too.
Wow.
The bad for the good and the good for the bad. So.
Yeah, that's so interesting. And yeah, I think that the darker periods of life help you appreciate the lighter ones. Because without the darker ones, if you only have light, happy moments throughout life, you don't really appreciate it because you don't realize things could be different.
Exactly. And it's, once again, it's a normal part of life too. So we can't ignore it.
Yeah, absolutely. What is your definition of success?
My definition of success, personally, I think, is to have freedom. And freedom in the sense of freedom of time, freedom, financial freedom also that comes with, I can provide a nice life for my kids, freedom of my schedule. So it's really time, I paint now because I feel like I want to paint, and then I'm gonna take time off because my kids have a heavy schedule now and I want to focus on them. And to me, that's one of the most important and most beautiful things that came with this career, also with this path. And I appreciate it. It's just freedom. And also to be calm. If I feel like I'm overwhelmed, then I slow down because I can. It's it's a luxury nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely. And why do you love Aruba?
It's my island. It's my culture. It's my weather. It's the warmth. It's the personal touch that you have, the connection that you have with people. It's if I go hiking on the North Shore and I see a person far in the distance, I see the hand raising and they wave like "Bon dia," good morning. It's those little details that my kids go like, "Mama, can we go play with the neighbor?" Go like, "Hey, can he come?" "Yes, sure." It's the ease of life. That's it. The ease of life on this island is, I don't think you can find it in many, many places.
Yeah,
I love it.
absolutely. Do you think that your art would be different if you didn't live in Aruba, if you lived somewhere else?
For sure. I'm 100% sure of that. Yes. I get inspired by the light, by the breeze, by the salt, by the wind, by the style of life, the lifestyle. And the lifestyle, I couldn't have this lifestyle if I lived in New York or Holland or Dominican Republic. I think it would be anywhere else, it would feel and be different.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe better, maybe worse, but not the same.
Absolutely. And for someone visiting the island, what would you recommend that they do here?
Definitely go to the beach. We have amazing restaurants. Pick the best ones and go. And of course, something that is very important, don't stay on the touristic side. Go to the North Shore. Go to little fish restaurants on the other side of the island. Get to know the people. We appreciate it if you come and show a little bit of interest in our culture and our nature. Respect our nature. See it. You can touch it. You can breathe it, but leave it as you found it. And I think definitely go to the North Shore. It has a magical feel to it.
Wonderful. Suelyn, this has been fantastic. Are you ready to move into the lightning round?
Yes. Yes. No, thank you very much.
Of course.
For this. Good questions. And made me reflect on some things while we were talking.
Oh, I'm glad.
Thank you so much.
All right. What is something new that you've tried lately?
That's a good question. It's time to do some new things, I think. Mountain biking.
Mountain biking?
Yes.
Cool. Did you like it?
I liked it, but it's such a rush. It's no. I like hiking more.
Mountain biking, I feel like could be a little scary because you go down quite fast.
Yes.
Right?
I screamed my whole way, like 1 hour. And my husband's like, you see much more of the beautiful island and the view is beautiful. I couldn't see anything else than the front wheel. So, but I tried, and the rush was, it was quite of a rush. It was amazing, but it's not something that I'm going to repeat more often, especially I'm so afraid of falling. And what if I fall,
Oh yeah, I would be afraid of falling too, because you're not on paths, right? You're kind of just in the rural
trails, but they are not smooth. Especially if it rained a little bit. Yeah.
Scary, but glad you got out of your comfort zone and tried something new. That's cool.
Yes, I'm proud of myself too.
Do you have a lesson or a message that you want to share with listeners?
These days I've been thinking a lot about this, and we just talked about it too. I think if you have a job, if you have anyone who has a life, sometimes life can become very busy, very structured. I dare you to just block a whole weekend of not planning anything and do something spontaneous, like as if you're a teenager again. I think getting out of the routine is, it creates magic.
I love that. What is one thing you wish you knew when you were first starting out?
That people that can relate to your message, to your feeling, they will find you. They will really find you. And it's amazing when they do.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
Suelyn, this has
Stay
been
true to yourself. I had to stay true to myself since the beginning, because everything's going to work out.
I love that. Thank you so much for joining, Suelyn. Where can people find you and check out your work and all of the things? Tell us.
I would say, the best way is on Instagram. It's art.by.suelyn. And check out my work. And you can reach out for anything if you want to discuss something, if you have a comment, if you want to ask something. I like to interact with people, so feel free to do so.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Suelyn.
You're welcome. Thank you.